that this appointment committee is closed with the power to make this decision. We have every right to make the decision, and the outstanding orders are very clear as to how we make decisions. And we have to make that decision. A motion has been moved. We have to vote on the motion, and we cannot simply brush it aside. You can't simply reject it by simply a speech. We are not ruled by just your whims and caprices of a chairman. We are ruled by the standing orders, and the standing orders are very clear. So, Chair, I return to the subject matter. We vote on the motion, up and down. In any event, I do not understand why the majority who have more numbers than us should be worried about it. Let's vote on the issue and make a decision on it, and then we can move forward. And I believe that is the fair. This committee cannot, and as you said, we respect the nominees. The reason why we are here, if you recall, we were here the last time because the same majority wanted to simply throw the rules away without advertising and allowing the people of Ghana to bring nominations. When indeed the appointment, as has been stated here by the president, is intended to simply fill a vacuum that is not even going to be ready till November. We pushed and got that advert done. And that's why we are here today. We are here and our standing orders is being applied. A motion has been properly moved and seconded. And the next thing we do is to vote on that motion. And so it is not in the power of the chair to simply brush it aside and say it was a preliminary objection. It is not. It is a motion that has been moved and seconded. And we must vote on that motion.
Chair, if you allow me, just some comment. I think that we have ventilated on the same matter enough. Enough. And the chairperson has the right to rule on this matter. I think the ruling may not please all of us, but it lies in the mouth of the chair to rule on the matter. For Christ's sake, let's all understand that the chair of the committee has given a ruling. It may not be pleasing to you. There are other avenues of you registering your protests. So we should just proceed. After the ruling has been given, we need to proceed and do the needful. Deputy Leader, with respect to you, going back to what happened before is unpalatable. All of us regret all that happened. The two leaders engaged profitably and well, and as a result, we mutually came to a date which was set ahead of time. 13th today was set ahead of time, and all of us came to speak in support of this. So as for that one, I will plead with you. You have to stay clear of what happened in previous days, and so that we can respect the decision of the chair and proceed duly and conduct the vetting. So, Madam Chair, I am ready if it pleases you.
Right. If the chair would grant me 2 minutes as well. Madam Chair, I totally disagree with your ruling. You have ignored the substantive issues raised by Honorable Ayariga, many of which you believe that it's a lacuna where we leave the law the way it is for presidents time and again to determine for themselves. And in recent time, the Chief Justice herself have joined the fray of setting the ceiling by endorsing the so-called limit as set by the president. I think your ruling is not. Yes, I can speak to a rule. I am surprised that the few minutes we came here, instead of us working together to see how we can move forward, you have gone ahead to unilaterally write your own judgment and have decided to, yes, unilaterally, I don't know where you got the details from, to come and read to us. I believe, Madam Chair, that the issue about democracy ends up in one simple way: vote. After all the talks, after all the attempts to have compromises, when it fails, the easiest way out is vote. So whilst you have read your judgment, which is quite interesting, I would encourage you.
I think we are going over this issue over and over again, and that we shouldn't belabor this issue. Please, I've given.
Because it is not a preliminary objection that I was raising. I raised an issue and I followed it with emotion, because that is how you move a committee to take a decision. So if you say you won't put it to a vote, Ghanaians are watching. But to say that by giving a ruling you have ended the matter, with all due respect, that is not a procedure known to our standing orders.
Madam, let me make a point here. Madam, respectfully, you are completely out of order.
Which of the madam?
You are out of order because the rules does not allow you to make a judgment of this nature when you are chairing a committee of parliament. Your ruling is not grounded in our standing orders. Scope of deliberations of committee. Order 2675 clearly states that only members of a committee may vote or move a motion at a meeting of the committee. The Honorable Mama Yaga is a member of this committee. He is not a stranger. He has moved a motion. We have moved.
Raise a preliminary objection. In law, what at all is a preliminary objection? When a person comes up with a view, the nature of which he will term it as preliminary objection, what he's saying is that ab initio, that body has no mandate at all to proceed. Now, if the chair takes a decision that no, there is a mandate to proceed, proceedings would have to continue without unduly frustrating same. However, as I heard Honorable Ayariga correctly, he said that having taken that initial step, he now moved a step further to move a motion. Which motion, in his view, a decision would have to be taken upon. But, Madam Chair, we are all in this house. How a preliminary objection can metamorphose into a motion is one thing that we would all have to consider. We know when we use the word a decision in Parliament, what we mean. When we use that word a decision, we know what we mean. What do we mean as parliamentarians when we talk about decision? A decision is raised as a term of art in parliamentary parlance where there are deliberations, or we have come to the end of our deliberations. And at the end of the deliberations, a member is required to move a motion, which motion is to adopt the report, a decision, and it has to be seconded. So the decision as used in the context of our rules is to the effect that we are done and we must bring our deliberations to a finality. That is where it is either by consensus or by head count or what we all know maybe majority decision, where en bloc a group will say that we are opposed, so we are voting en bloc. Then it becomes a majority decision or there's a head count. And I have looked at the order 2675, which rightly so has to do with decisions of the committee, which decisions will come as a result of a finality in terms of deliberations. Now, if you look at the voting at committee, a decision at committee shall ordinarily be by consensus. I beg to submit, in all modesty and with the greatest humility and utmost respect, to my very senior, who is a Harvard scholar, and he knows how much I respect him. We've worked at ECOWAS Parliament together. I've taken a lot of his mentorship. He's guided me on a lot of matters. So, Leonard, most respectfully, the voting at committee as contained in Order 284, is where we have come to an end of our deliberations. The matter before us, again in all modesty and with the greatest respect, is not a matter for decision. It's a matter that the honorable member himself in his own way said he wants even the committee's report to reflect his objection. Now, if we go, in fact, I don't have any right to vote. You've only granted me that special privilege as your leader to express a view. I would humbly plead that we respect the ruling of Madam Chair, however displeasurable it may be to us, and in all humility proceed to vet the nominee. In any event, Mr. Speaker had made a referral to us, and when the letter came and the referral was made, there is no record at the plenary to the effect that a preliminary objection was raised in respect of the constitutionality or otherwise of the said communication from Mr. President. I know that yesterday the Honorable Minority Leader even requested for evidence of proceedings at the Judicial Council, evidence of letter nominating and all that. I labored
even longer than everybody.
Chief Whip, I'm begging you.
How can you? Why do you grant him
Chief
that?
Whip,
Because I have a serious matter to raise.
Chief Whip,
yes.
I'm begging you. You know I always beg you. You know how I always beg you because your views have always been very superior. You know the difficulty I find myself. You know, only yesterday you were my best friend. If you are trying to be a former friend, that's okay. But I shall remain a good friend. You know, and I know that my namesake would have to come to my rescue, and he will come to my rescue. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes,
no, my namesake is Honorable Atu-Forson.
Leader, ruling was posted on a Facebook page of a known journalist an hour ago.
What's his name?
And I can tender this for the sake of the protection of the person. It will be extremely damning that the ruling you have given did not come from you, because you remember I made a comment that within the short period that we left here, you were able to, in fact, you were with us in the rules after a point in time, you were able to put together this very comprehensive rule. I can read out what is on the social media page of the journalist if you want me to. Do you want me to read it? This is unacceptable.
I plead, Chair, if you may, just a minute. Kwame, with the greatest of respect, this is a very serious allegation. I was with her when she was writing. Please, it's enough. It's enough. Madam Chair, you have given a ruling. They have.
Let her tender.
I'm not the one chairing the.
Can she tender what she read?
Let
me compare to what.
No, you cannot push the chair to tender what she read. No, you may have your objections, you may have your views on her ruling. That's fine, but she has put finality on the matter. The powers of a committee of a chair is well defined in our standing orders. Madam Chair, I have repeated. Madam Chair, I need your attention, and you have to protect me. I'm a very important member of this committee. I also bear institutional memory. Please, can I proceed with the vetting? I have very good questions.
We are talking about a fundamental problem here, where the ruling given by the chair appeared on the Facebook page of a journalist an hour before she read it here. 1 hour before she read it here. It's a serious matter. This committee must be taken serious. It is a serious matter. So I recommend, Madam Chair, tender what you have actually written according to the Chief Whip to the clerk, so that we shall tell you what you read is exactly what is on the Facebook page of that.
I thank you very much for the opportunity. Honorable nominee, let me commend you highly for your nomination.
Madam Chair,
Madam Chair, is
we
to
have to
find
know
out
what we are proceeding
your
on.
judicial
We have to know what we are
experiences
proceeding on. We have to
that
know
has
what we are.
prepared you.
Honorable, please.
Honorable nominee,
please,
I'm
please,
seeking
please.
to find out
This
your
is
judicial
not-
experiences
Excuse me.
that has
excuse me, Chief Whip.
prepared you adequately
I mean, you are
enough
starting vetting.
to be at the apex court. Would you share with this honorable committee, please?
If honorable nominee, the chief whip is just a member of this committee. He has no right to direct you to speak whilst you are here. So, Chair, rule him out first. And I've made a serious allegation against you that the ruling you have given appeared on the Facebook page of a journalist an hour before you did that. Address that one first. It's a serious matter. Address that one first. She wrote it and posted it to the...
You have requested for that, and it will be part of the submission of papers to them.
True. Did you send it to a journalist 1 hour before?
All members.
Can I proceed?
I think we have it in our order 268, subsection 3, that the chairperson of a committee shall maintain order at a meeting of the committee and decide on each question of the order. I wonder where you are coming from to say that the chairperson doesn't have that locus. It is right in your standing orders. I have given my ruling. We are going. Please proceed to take the questions on.
I'm saying that is not your ruling.
It's okay.
It is not your ruling.
It's okay.
Because you couldn't have posted your ruling is. I'm saying your ruling is illegal because that ruling couldn't have appeared on the Facebook page of a journalist 1 hour before you have read it. You would have been a miracle maker to be able to do that.
Thank you for the.
So your ruling is null and void.
Let me commend you highly again for
More than that, Madam Chair.
being nominated.
Madam Chair,
by
more than that,
Excellency
Madam Chair,
the President.
more than that, you have not addressed. You have not addressed the fundamental issues that were raised, which has to do with the standing orders
Do you
and the fact
consider
that
your
there's a
judicial
motion on the floor.
experiences as good enough to have prepared you to serve at the apex court?
Honorable, I have quoted that standing order, and yes, please, I call for the
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, if I get your question, it's how well am I prepared to be a member of the apex court if it's approved? Please, what's that the question?
Madam Chair, Madam Chair.
You do not want this vetting to proceed. You have brought the Supreme Court nominees. You, the government side, have brought the Supreme Court nominees here to be ridiculed. Because all the actions you've taken from the very first day they were nominated show that you don't give them respect. If you give them respect, the chair will not sit in this chair. And I'm telling you, she read a judgment that she plagiarized. And then the Supreme Court judge nominee is talking about that. And I'm saying the bigger issue, the second bigger issue is that a colleague have moved a motion.
You also want to preclude them from being in the
there's a motion. A competent motion on the floor. We are telling you, you do not have the right to rubbish the motion, and you are still going ahead.
Answers. My question was simple. I am eager
Mr. Chairman,
to understand.
Mr. Chairman,
your
please, I want to make a very fundamental. Mr. Chairman, I want to make a fundamental
over the
statement.
years whether it is.
I am. I'm not a friend of the
enough
committee. I'm a member of the committee. Please, I'm not a friend.
Preparatory ground.
No, but I want to raise a fundamental issue.
For
Please.
you to serve at the apex court.
She has to call you before. Put off the mic.
Yeah, Chairman.
She has to call you before. Stop.
Chairman, do I have your? Let me.
Put it off.
Chairman.
She has to call.
And I will read to you, I can tell you the name of the journalist and go the distance. If you want me to do that, I'm restraining myself. So do the needful. I'm restraining myself. Do the needful. Don't pretend that you have the power to just bulldoze your way through. I don't think that the nominee want to entertain that. The nominee should be worried that at this committee, even the things she's seeing here don't appear to be wholesome. It's a serious matter. Imagine the Supreme Court judges reading judgments that have been borrowed from somewhere else.
Until you put the motion to a vote, there will be no vetting. And if you want to disrespect the rules of parliament and members of this committee, well, let's do it. But we are not going to throw the rules of parliament away. There's a motion on the floor. No. And we are going to vote on that motion.
You have no rule.
Who doesn't have a right? You bring the contestant to order.
Madam Chairman, Madam Chairman, please, let me, please. Madam Chairman, please, let me make a very fundamental. Madam Chairman, Chair, I'm making a very, Chair, I'm making.
You are not speaking on mic. You are only making the whole place unruly. So
Chairman,
let the honourable member.
Good. Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I'm very grateful for Chairman. Thank you for. Please, colleagues. Please, honourable colleagues. Please, let's listen to one another, please. Madam Chair, thank you very much. Madam Chair, we are here again because I think we are getting some things fundamentally wrong. I feel very embarrassed as an officer of the court to see a very learned judge sitting right before us, and we doing all kinds of I don't know how I would even describe what is happening here. Now, the whole world is looking at us, and it's very embarrassing. And that's why I warned from the beginning that we can save all of us this acrimony by simply following the rules. And I recall that one of the reasons why we went on a break was to build some consensus. And all the conversations that we had for purposes of consensus, once we are unable to reach consensus, I believe that we follow the rules to the letter. In fact, when we went to conclave, the understanding we had before we came back was that this was going to be put to a vote, and that only members of the committee were going to vote. You see, but once you get here and that consensus turns into a ruling, then you bring about the acrimony again. So please, very, very respectfully, I think we can end this by just doing the needful so we can save all of us this embarrassment. That's my respectful submission.
No. I'm on the line. Let me say something. For a long time now that we heard from you. Thank you very much. Madam Chair, for your guidance. Please. No, not that. She should be fair for what? I mean, listen to us. Please, I'm on the floor. No, you are spoiling the meeting. Madam Chair, please, Minority Deputy, please, I'm on the floor. Madam Chair, I'm on the floor. For your guidance, we have practice directive. If it is in the High Court, Madam Chairperson, you will listen to me for guidance. It will help us a lot. Please. Leader, No, I'm talking. Can I put it off?
He's being distracted by the
majority leader, and I'm just pleading. Madam Chair, I'm saying that let us be guided. If a matter arises in the High Court and then the issue of a constitutional interpretation comes into play. What the High Court judge will do is that he will defer proceedings of the matter and refer the issue of constitutionality to the Supreme Court for interpretation. He doesn't continue with the case while the controversy of whether it needs constitutional interpretation or not is in place. I will humbly plead with you and our colleagues here that once the Honorable Ayaraga has raised an issue where you say that, well, it is a matter of the constitutional interpretation by the Supreme Court, then what you should do is to defer proceedings of this matter. And then the matter will be referred to the chamber and to the Supreme Court for interpretation. It is not only in the court, but even in Parliament here, where some have been here for donkey years. Look, you go to a committee, if there is some information that they are not privy to, or they want and it is not available, they suspend proceedings until that information is received. You are aware about it in all the committees. So we are saying, what we are saying, Ayaraga is saying this morning is that as far as we are concerned, there's a controversy. So we are saying that let us defer sitting, let us suspend sitting until we resolve this issue in one way or the other before we come and then proceed. But to arbitrarily overrule a motion that has been seconded, it is unheard of in any democratic dispensation that a motion can be moved and seconded and then you write a ruling. The ruling is not in place. It is out of place with the greater respect to you. And to the majority leader, I think that he had labored for so long, but that does not refer or relate to the matter that we have in issue. I appreciate his industry, but the industry is misplaced. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Majority Leader, did you say you want to make a comment? Thank you.
Madam Chair, just for
he's a member of
Madam Chair,
and can
Madam Chair, just for peace to prevail, I think that sometimes we can take certain steps to resolve. If members want to proceed on the motion, I think that I respectfully submit that you may grant that so that you take the vote instead of proceeding without the vote. So, Madam Chair, please grant the pleasure. Thank you.
Madam Chair, under what I said proceed. Listen. You see, no, hold on. The leader, the respected, listen to me. The respected leader in this meeting is a friend. The way he spoke does not connote a friend to the committee. He spoke as if he's directing the chair to take a decision. The same decisions we members of the committee persuaded her to take, and she refused. How come a friend of the committee is directing her and she's about to do that?
Respect to you. The leader is not, emphasis mine, he is not. Minority leader will bear me out. We related, even before we sat, we related just for us to engage and find a peaceful avenue in this matter. So this is originally not even coming from the leader. No. So may I suggest, as a member of the committee, I'm sure this time you will listen to me. May I suggest that, Madam, you accede to their call and then we take a vote on the motion moved by the Honorable Ayaraga, as was requested.
I find it very interesting that all of us were asking for the same thing. It wasn't granted.
Okay.
Honorable members, in order to take the votes, I need to make it clear who are members of the appointment committee. Members of the appointment committee, as stated in our standing order.
Please allow her.
Honorable, it is important for her to quote the specific orders. We are members of parliament.
And we have our list to determine who is a member of the committee. And then we have Honorable Joseph Osebusu as the chairperson, Honorable Patricia Apieje as the vice chair, And then we have Honorable Frank Anodombra, a member. Honorable Eve Hansen Norty, a member. Honorable Yevil Baligi Bache. And then we have Honorable Dr. Kesli Atuba Forse, ranking member. Honorable Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boa as a member. Honorable Kwame Governs Abuja. Honorable Mahama Ayariga and Honorable Dr. Agnes Na Momo Lati as members. So, Honorable Gifty Chum Ampofo, I'm sorry for missing your name, as a member of the year. So, we are going to do it by show of hand. Those honorable, so the members of the committee have been decided on. These are the members of the committee, and then we are going to take the votes.
Chair, please.
Yes.
Please. Just to draw your attention, I have to address your mind to the new standing order, and I'm referring you to order 2174.
No, read the 217.
So, 217. The appointments